Hi everyone, this is Jeanette, www.scrapjanny.blogspot.com, and welcome to another episode of My Crafty Life. Today I'm going to show you how to create a layout that is not in a standard size. The size that I'm going to be working with today is 9 by 12. The closest size comparison I can give you is that it's the size of the construction paper that you've probably used and that your children probably use as well. A few years ago, my husband bought me a Hallmark scrapbook, and it's beautiful and I love it. The only thing is, it is an unusual size. It's not 12 by 12, it's not 8.5 by 11, it's 9 by 12. So that presented some challenges, but over the past few years, I've been able to adapt to the size, and it actually works quite well. And the reason it does that is, although it's not as wide as a 12 by 12, it is as long. And it's just a little bit wider than the 8.5 by 11. So it does give you a little bit more room to work with your photos. And I like to put a lot of photos on my layout, as you can see. This layout is about our puppy, then puppy, Mocha. She just turned a year old, and we adopted her from the North Shore Animal League back in August of 2009. So you know I have a lot of puppy pictures, and I wanted to get a lot of them on this layout. So here's what I did. First, I chose the photos that I wanted to use, and in this case, I did want to use a few more, but I was able to narrow down my selection because some of them were almost the same. They were almost repeats of the same shot. So I narrowed my selection down to, what do I have here? I think I have 7 photos. I have 8 photos. And I cropped them to workable sizes. I tried to get rid of any extraneous background elements, ones that really weren't essential to the photos. Sorry about that. That adorable little puppy of mine just grabbed the hairbrush and was off to chew it to pieces. Anyway, I selected my photos, and then I selected a background paper that would go both with the photos and with the patterned paper that I bought especially for this layout. And the paper that I bought for this layout is by Bo Bunny. Here's a little piece that I have left. And it's called, let's see, Pet Shop. Okay, the paper is called Pet Shop. It's actually a double-sided cardstock. It's really cute. You'll see that I used both sides. And I also purchased the cutouts that go with the paper. And what's great about these is they make fabulous journaling blocks, and they would also make a nice photo mat if you wanted. I mean, you could cut out a photo and put it right there and it would look really cute. They're also double-sided, so you could cut these into 6 by 6 squares and use them for a smaller scrapbook page or for cards or other projects. The other paper that I used was Die Cuts with a View. It's the pet stack, and what I did there was I cut some of the borders. There are some border pages. I put the fire hydrant border down here, and there actually is one of the Bo Bunny cutouts. Here's another of the Die Cuts with a View borders that I trimmed out, and the Die Cuts with a View paper is, I believe, I want to say it's 8 by 8. I think that's the size. So of course the strip wasn't long enough, so I cut out the border strip from 2 different pages, and I seamed them together and I hid that seam cleverly behind one of my Cricut die cuts, which I'll get back to later on. So that's the paper I used. For the title, I used some chipboard punch-out letters that I've had. Let's see, bring it a little closer. These are made by Colorbook, and it's a whole big stack that I got at Michael's a couple of years ago for, I think I got them on sale for $10, and I'm still using them here and there. I added some rub-ons, as you can see right here, and I added another one to the bone. Okay, and I will get back to the rest of the embellishments. The way that I arranged the photos is I decided I wanted a linear look, because when you have a lot of photos that you're working with, you want them to look organized and not haphazard on your layout. So I cropped them to similar sizes, both width-wise and height-wise, and I filled in the empty spaces with just little bits and pieces of patterned paper. I don't know if you can see that here. And I had a little piece that I cut off from my larger patterned paper right there. And that gives everything a very cohesive look. Okay, now we'll move on to the embellishments that I made. I used my absolute favorite Cricut cartridge again, Create a Critter. And this time I used the accessories on pages 34 and 35 in the manual. This is the dog. Actually, these are the dogs, and I think there's one more here that you can cut with this cartridge. They're really cute. But I just wanted the accessories for this layout. So what I did was I cut out the bowl, all of the layers for that, and the bone, and the fire hydrant. And I believe I cut them all, I want to say at 1 3/4 inches. Some of them might be a little bit bigger. Some of them might actually go up to 2 inches, I think. I had to play around with the size a little bit because the first time I cut them out, they were so big that they looked kind of silly on the page. But anyway, try it out on scrap paper first, and then you'll get an idea for the size that you want. So I cut all the pieces out, I layered them, and then I took some distress ink and I just inked the edges just to give a little bit of shadow and definition. It's not hard to work with non-standard scrapbook sizes. They may present a challenge, but if you use your space wisely and you keep everything neat and organized, your pages will not look cluttered. They will look unified, and you'll be able to squeeze a lot of photos on there. I hope you enjoyed this episode of My Crafty Life. Thanks for joining me today. This is Jeanette saying, remember to be your crafty self. Bye now.